All right, shifting our focus to more news coming in. Security Investigation Agency or SIA is carrying out raids in the Shahbaz Colony area of Jammu. The raids are being conducted in connection with the investigation into the killings of Kashmiri Pandits in Kashmir. And those are the details that are emerging so far. And now joining me on the telecast is my colleague Ajay Jandyal. Ajay, take us through the details that are coming in.
Yes, raids are going on here in the Jammu and Kashmir, and multiple locations are under raid. You can see that, security forces personnel, which include Jammu and Kashmir police and the paramilitary forces, they have been deployed when SIA is carrying out raids over here. And these raids are basically in connection with the Kashmiri Pandits killing, which took place in 1990s. And according to information, Sarvanand Kaul Premi and his son was killed, and 2 FIRs were registered. One in Anantnag and another in Duru police station. And now SIA have after SIA took over this case, they have started investigating this matter, and definitely they have to go minutely to every link. They have to ensure that every efforts of everything has to be checked. That basically who were the people, those who have killed both father and a son, and who are the other those who are in support with them. And after this SIA raids in Jammu and Kashmir, where multiple locations are under raids, they are ensuring that every link has to be properly investigated. They want everything has to be properly checked, so that those who are responsible for the killing of Kashmiri Pandit, they has to be nabbed, they has to be sent behind the bar. But we have seen that a few months back, this process was started, that when SIA started investigating these matters of the Kashmiri Pandit, and only yesterday we have seen that a delegation which is basically assessing the situation in the Jammu and Kashmir. They also have met Kashmiri Pandit, those who are checking the demographic changes which has taken place in the Jammu and Kashmir. And there are allegations by some of the people that the migration in Kashmir has taken place just because they wanted this demographic change has to take place there, in Kashmir. So everything which is going on over here in Jammu and Kashmir, this is to ensure that whatever wrong doing has happened there in the Jammu and Kashmir in the past, that has to be properly checked and that has to be fixed.
All right, just stay on with me as we are getting to know more details that are coming in. The J&K State Investigation Agency or SIA has conducted searches at 9 locations across Jammu and Kashmir in connection with the 1990 double murder of Kashmiri Pandit writer and poet Sarvanand Kaul Premi and his son Virendra Kaul, and the two were abducted in 1990 and their bodies were later found hanging from a tree in Kokarnag, Anantnag. The case was registered in 1990 at Doru police station and is now being investigated by the SIA. The searches are part of the ongoing probe to identify and trace those responsible for the killings. Ajay, take us through the details that are coming in.
Yes, right now we are here in the Shahbaz Colony, where you can see that, paramilitary forces have been deployed over here. SIA teams are inside the house, and they are definitely questioning and investigating this matter properly, because in 90s time when Kashmiri Pandits were targeted, they were, killed brutally. This is something which they have to ensure that investigation has to take place properly, and they have to ensure that those who are responsible, they has to be properly, they has to be, framed. So you can see that security forces personnel have been deployed over here. There are 2 locations where raids are going on, and this is to ensure that the long pending demand of the Kashmiri Pandits, where they have been killed. And in particular this case, Sarvanand Kaul and his son was brutally killed, and their bodies were recovered from where their bodies were hanging. So that is a matter of investigation. Why these investigation hasn't taken place earlier, that SIA is investigating, and definitely those who are responsible, they will be taken into a task. That is what SIA is ensuring in the Jammu and Kashmir. Not only this case, but there are reports that multiple cases of Kashmiri Pandit killing that is under the investigation of the SIA. And in the recent past, these cases were handed over to the the SIA, and this state investigation agency is investigating this matter. matter. You can see that security forces personnel have been deployed in the different areas of this Shahbaz Colony, which is in Bahuport of Jammu, where raids are going on. Early in the morning, these raids were started, and now they are frisking each and every household with where they have to check that.
All right, Ajay, I hate to